I just wanted to give you guys a bit of an update on the car. It's been a little while, so just wanted to get you some updates. So I have been working on a car every weekend. Let's start in the interior. So in one of the past videos, I installed the deck right here, and everything's working great. This was a smoker's car, so I decided to shampoo the interior, clean all the seats. I actually replaced the center console, so if you are following me on Instagram, you will see that install. This is a brand new console, except for the ashtray right there. I'm getting a new one of those too, but that one is not new, so that's the original ashtray. Yeah, just wanted to refresh the interior. They still have these parts, so get them while you still can. And the old one had some kind of burn marks and just some random discoloration. So I'm like, okay, let's just get a new one. These parts from Nissan are not too expensive, so that's always a good thing. I have the what's called baking soda here, just to kind of remove some remaining odors and stuff like that. Mostly the smoke smell, which I don't like. I have replaced the door speakers, and that's something I was talking about, and the rear speakers. So the ones, well, let me go on the outside and show you guys. The ones here are new, so if you're looking for speakers that are direct plug and play, and these things only have 4 holes, and all 4 holes line up, and it just fits perfectly. Polk, their speakers, and I believe Sony as well, they just plug straight in, and you don't have to mess with it, right? So it works for me. I don't want to deal with. So I actually got a set of Focal speakers, and I love Focal speakers, but they do not line up with any of the holes, and the basket is too big and doesn't fit into the holes, so into the speaker hole. So that is an issue, and these just fit perfectly. They're not as high end, but they sound way better than the paper speakers, which are surprisingly in good condition after I took them out. But still, these are way better, so that's a good thing, right? Next up for updates, I actually have a new steering wheel that will be going in, a new OEM leather steering wheel. So want to maintain the interior and keep it all in good condition, and so that is going in. I installed new brakes, so they still have the same calipers, but these are new rotors, pads, and brake fluid. So pads, I'm running the Project Mu HCM1, and those are Project Mu's newest and flagship pads. They're primarily designed for kind of a street performance, but they're also are track pads, and you can track them. They will be much higher level than say Endless MX72, which is a very outdated pad by today's standards, right? So Project Mu keeps on coming up with new pad compounds, and this is their newest, which just came out last year with limited applications, only available for some JDM cars. So we'll see how those do on track when I eventually get to the track. What else? The fender liners, I've started taking it out. I've actually started taking out the headlights. So I've redone one of the headlights. The one on top is brand new. It has a brand new lens on it. This is the original one. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but there is, the old ones were kind of milky, and I tried polishing it out. Didn't really come out that well, and they're still kind of brown, right? So I didn't like that. So I ended up replacing the lenses. There's a couple companies that make new lenses, brand new lenses for the S15, and it fits perfectly. The hardest part is actually just removing headlights from the car. If you can deal with that, the actual process of installing it, it's You bake it in the oven for a little bit to soften the adhesive. You peel off the old lens and then you glue on the new one. And these kits all have like like the adhesive, everything in it. So it's pretty much like everything's ready for you. You just install it. So I did one. I'm gonna do the other. One thing I did find out while I was in here is that this fender, or actually not the fender, the bumper on this side was actually held on by a super long screw and a lot, like some really big, I'm trying to get this focus, really big washer. So this is not how it's supposed to be stuck on, right? So I found out that the on the OEM, the way it's supposed to be installed, there's actually this plastic piece that goes inside. Let me show you guys. So I ordered new ones from Nissan. But these plastic pieces, this is the part number for the right side. They go in under the bumper, and it helps the bumper attach to the fender. Without this, you probably need to do some kind of ghetto fix, like whatever, I don't know, previous owner or whoever did it and stuff, which is to install this like some kind of like bunch of washers and like this extra long bolt. And after I pulled this out, I found out that this attachment point is actually ripped. Luckily, the plastic piece, which I've installed in here, kind of like supports it, and so with that in there, it will reinforce this, and so it should attach fine, right? But the thing is, like, I don't like that it's been damaged. I'll probably try to do some plastic weld to kind of, like make this a little bit more solid before I put it back together. But the bumper does actually need to come off a bit on the edge. So there's just one bolt that holds the headlight here. The other ones are, there's another bolt here and two more bolts here that hold the headlight in. So that's what holds the headlight in. Besides, like the plugs here, you can unplug those and the whole headlight comes out, right? So that's what you need to do to take the headlight out. And then once you're out, then you're pretty much good to go. Just, have to put it back together. That's it for the headlights. All right, so just continuing off of the stuff that I'm doing, I have a bunch of parts here. Some of it will go on later, some of it will go on sooner. This just came in today. So I got an air filter, and it is a performance one. A lot of people like to install like pod filters, or those I guess cone filters is what we call it in the United States. But I don't want to do that, because this nice air box actually sucks in cold air via this duct right here, right? And so a lot of the pod filters, they just suck, or cone filters, they suck air from the engine bay, which is not good, because engine bay air is hot, right? And so, but you do need to have a high flow filter for SR20 DET. I had one before, and having a high flow filter actually makes a big difference, because the way these systems aren't like new cars where it's it's all like computer controlled and it self-adjusts and stuff like that, right? So having more flow means that you'll actually produce more power. And so between not having a big old air filter here, you want a high flow filter. And so I got a drop-in one. This one comes from Japan. It's from Apex. And the other thing is that I wanted specifically a dry filter, because you do have a mass airflow sensor here, and so it is a hot wire mass airflow sensor, right? So if you have an oiled filter and you do run it, it can clog up your mass airflow sensor and damage it and stuff, right? So the best, the only way you can ensure that you don't screw it up is to have a dry filter, right? So this is a dry high flow filter, and I was thinking about getting the Nismo one, which is also a dry style high flow filter, right? But That one is double the cost of this one, and I don't think there is any difference between them, right? They're both Japanese. Who knows? It might be made by the same company, and they're both dry paper. Not paper styles. It's more of a cotton high flow filter, but it's dry, right? So you don't have to worry about oils clogging up your nice sensor there, and it's safe. So this one's going in, and this is quite possibly the first kind of performance mod. I don't know how much power these things add to the car. I imagine probably 5 to 10 horsepower, and that's not joking, because you can definitely feel the before and after from just changing an air filter in these cars, and it's pretty incredible. Like on new cars, like I was saying, you don't get that because they self-adjust, and so when you have more airflow, it kind of just tunes itself to run at the stock parameter what it's supposed to do, right? So with these cars, they don't. So when you have more flow, it will run more fuel, it will run more boost, everything will just run better, and you will get more power out of it. And it sounds, it is kind of primitive, in that way, but it's also very cool that you can bolt on stuff, and then actually, without a tune or anything like that, you can make good power. And so that's how OG tuning was done. People just bolted on stuff, and all of a sudden you had an extra 50 horsepower and from bolt-ons, and that was no joke and stuff, right? And unless you get it retuned, unless you get a modern ECU, pretty much, it's that's how it's going to work, right? So for now, this is going to be my first mod. It's going to be very cool. I did try an AEM filter that's also dry flow, and that one is actually too thick to fit in this air box. And I don't know how AEM designed it, but I think they designed it for the American KA engines and stuff, but that definitely does not work in this car, right? Maybe it works in some other ones, but yeah, so I had to get one from Japan, and so this is what I got. And I think that will be it for... Oh, no, actually, no. Let's keep on going with mods and fixes and stuff, So these wiper arms are brand new. You can still get them. I think I mentioned it in my first video. You can still get them from Nissan. So it's very cool that we have brand new, unrusted wiper arms, along with new wiper blades. And I have both front and rear. I took out the rear deck because I installed these speakers, but they're going back in. And you can get the seal for the wiper arm is new too. You can buy that brand new. And so I replaced it all, so it's all fresh and it's nicely sealed. A lot of people will want to remove this arm, but I like the arm because this is a very JDM feature. In most cars nowadays, and in the United States, and in just about every car, you do not have a rear wiper for a sedan or a coupe. And having had a rear wiper arm, I used to have Evos, and they had, the Evo 8.9 had the rear wiper arm here in the United States, and it was actually very useful. So people who delete this for style points or whatever and stuff, I don't get it. This is a very useful feature. It's very JDM if you want something to maintain authenticity and to have something unique. Why would you remove this? It's a perfect... it doesn't make it less aerodynamic or more aerodynamic. It doesn't get you a new power or anything, So it makes no sense, right? So anyway, this is definitely a feature that I like and I'm gonna keep, right? So there it is. The other thing I've been doing, I've been replacing a lot of bulbs with LEDs because they last longer and they're much brighter. I try to stick with OEM type bulbs. So these are from Silvia and stuff, and so they are an OEM supplier, and I tend to find that the bulbs that they make last longer and are better quality than, say, the generic ones from like China and stuff, you know. So that's definitely something to consider if you are replacing it. Just kind of like modernizing things in a way that doesn't detract from the original design, because you have to consider like why things are the things they are, right? I'm sorry, why things are the way they are. Because the OEM, when they design something, sometimes it's for cost, right? Other times there is a reason why they did it, right? So if things are fine the way they are, why do you want to remove it and put in something inferior, right? I mean, I'm not trying to chase like, 1,000 horsepower or whatever and stuff. I don't need a crazy flowing air filter at the expense of like sucking like rocks into my engine and blowing it up, right? So there's a reason why the airbox is designed it is. There's a reason why it's not sucking in engine bay air and stuff like that. Oh, the other thing is that this is very cool. So I replaced the fuse box sticker with a new one. And so there's companies out there that make replacements. If you want to know who makes this, please leave a comment or something like that. I'll tell you where you can get these. But it is really awesome. And they're actually made in America, right? So this is not Japanese, but there's companies that reproduce these stickers and stuff, so you can have a fresh looking, OEM look in your engine bay by having new stickers and stuff, which is very nice. And I think that's about it for this video. I'll talk to you guys later with more updates.